Well, old Victorian London gets a dose of sci-fi on the new series The Nevers. A supernatural event has left certain people touched with unexplained powers, including Amalia True, played by Laura Donnelly. Take a look.
Mrs. Amalia True, Miss Adair. May I introduce Lord Masson? Mrs. True runs the orphanage.
Indeed.
Which one's the ugly one?
I take it then that you are yourselves among the afflicted.
Touched, yes. We don't consider ourselves afflicted.
Perhaps some women are more fortunate in the nature of their ailment than others.
That's true, but more suffer from society's perception than their own debilitation.
Hi, Laura. How are you doing?
I'm really well, thank you. How are you doing?
This show is one of my new escapes. I love it so much. And there's just so many reasons that I love it. But let's start with this. For people who may not understand my excitement and they don't really know what this show is, can you just kind of explain The Nevers?
So The Nevers is set in Victorian London, and it centers around a group of mainly women, not all women, who have, for an unexplained reason, found themselves with these special abilities. And I wouldn't really say that they're superpowers. They're some of them are just completely useless, but they have all discovered these around the same time, and they've gathered together, or at least as we meet them in episode 1, they're beginning to build as a group, led by the character that I play, who's Amalia True. She is gathering together the touched, as we call them, and is trying to keep them safe and to fulfill some kind of mission, but we don't really know what that is yet.
Now, you were the first person cast in this show. What was your first impression of Amalia?
I mean, I got all the secrets straight up.
You know everything.
Yeah, I got every spoiler. I hadn't even got the part yet, and I knew it all.
Wow.
I was like, should you be telling me this? My first impressions were really just how layered a human being she is, and about how really she's holding back more than she's giving forth. You know, she has a lot of secrets. She has a lot of complexity, but some of those things are even kept from herself. She's not fully aware even of who she is, or what she allows herself to be seen as, and what she allows herself to know.
So she can see flashes of the future. It's called ripplings, right? And she no rhyme or reason when they're going to happen. And a lot of times she doesn't even understand what the visions, what she sees means until she's in the moment. Mm-hmm. But she also has this insane strength and butt kicking ability. Like, is that part of her superpowers, or is she just really a strong woman?
Well, I don't actually think that she is particularly strong. She can fight. And you know, I'm a little woman, and when you see my stunt double, she is equally as little as me, but I would not want to take her on in a fight, and I would challenge anybody to go out there and try. But one of the things that I was always really keen to do with her, and that we talked about with the stunt team, and you know, there were all conversations where that she doesn't fight like a man. You know, there's no point in me punching a really huge guy and we pretend that, you know, he's going to be floored by that, because I don't have the arms for that. But there will be an ability to counterweight somebody, use their weight against them, and to use certain little moves that, again, for reasons that get to be explained later, that Amalia is essentially skilled in ways that become known. So I wouldn't say that it's part of her turn. It's just it's part of the backstory of who she is.
Let me tell you, that underwater fight scene, I had to watch it twice. It was just so good. When I saw that man walk on water, I was like, oh my God. Yeah. So the show is set in old Victorian London. But you know what I realized about this is that it feels very present, right? Mm-hmm. With the underlying themes of it. What do you hope people take away from this show?
Yeah, it does feel very present and very relevant. And that was what had attracted me to it so much. You know, I really hope that people take away from it the human side to this. You know, yes, it's a fantasy show, it's a sci-fi show, but what we're telling here is really a human story. And it's a story about what it is to be the other in society, what it is to be marginalized, and what is the conversation that we're having around power, who has it, and how does it evolve when it goes to people who aren't used to having it. And so I think if people can get a sense that there is something to be said for stepping into someone else's shoes for the day, and to be able to recognize your own privilege in any way that you might have it, and to be able to understand that that's not the same for everybody in the world, then I think there is a chance that there can be some increased level of empathy for one another, and the idea that we are all sharing an experience, a human experience where some people have naturally got it better than others, and it's something to think about.
Yeah, absolutely. That very well said. Well, you can catch The Nevers Sundays at 9 p.m. on HBO. Laura, thank you and congrats on everything.
Thank you very much. Lovely to talk to you.
You as well.